5 years and still talking. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
You can listen to the Great American Broadcast Network for its engaging conversation or its entertaining hosts. Or you can just listen and play the GabNet drinking game. Is Phil Meyer right or wrong?
I was looking at the headlines. I guess Britain is going to die a strange death.
Wrong. Drink.
The Chinese are building up a drone warfare army ready to attack.
Wrong. Drink.
The financial health is overstated in the year 2000.
Wrong. Drink.
Bengali wants human remains. Now, I did read that article, and, they want to talk to Hillary Clinton's aides.
Wrong. Drink. The Great American Broadcast Network. Come for the facts, or twist open a bottle and just have a good time. Gabnet.net, a tune-in partner. Drink responsibly.
Reasons why you tune into GabNet. Reason number 29, the Citizen Panel.
I'm saying that he could actually, a good lawyer might be able to make a case that he cannot get a fair trial anywhere in the United States because the President of the United States said, quote, he should be executed. And if you can't find a fair jury anywhere in this country because they've all been exposed to this.
No, he'll never go to trial if he's treated as an enemy combatant.
He's not being treated as an enemy combatant, Phil.
He's basically a citizen. He has a green card. He has all the rights that a citizen of the United States has because he has a green card. Either you want to follow the Constitution of the United States or not. Go to Russia if you don't want to follow the rules.
He said that he did this for ISIS. He had a note in his thing. He had phone call on his cell phone, and he says that he did it for ISIS. Therefore,
okay, so Phil, if you did that, you should be able to be treated as enemy combatant.
I think so.
GabNet. Reasons to listen every day. Log on to gabnet.net for more. GabNet. It's talk like you've never heard it before.
Who is Damian Chaplin? To begin with, he's host of the second oldest program on GabNet, doing The Exchange since 2014, 4 days a week for 25 minutes each night. Now, that has all changed. Welcome to the new Exchange. 1 day a week, but now for a full hour, or longer if he wishes. You see, there are no other programs on Monday night, his new slot, so he's all alone and can do whatever the hell he pleases. Of course, with no other GabNet offerings on that night, you might forget he's there. Well, don't, damn it. It's an immersive, interesting, and informative fare that's worth going out of your way to hear. Plus, he needs you to fill out his citizen panel. Damian Chaplin's new day and time are, now jot this down, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, that's Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. The Exchange with Damian Chaplin, the loneliest man on GabNet. By the way, did I say Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time? GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
We're GabNet, and we've got you covered live 5 nights a week. First, on Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, it's The Exchange with Damian Chaplin.
Having two machines talk to each other without having to connect any cable whatsoever, total fantasy. And now we take it totally for granted. And now we won't even buy a device that we have to connect a cable to. If it doesn't have Bluetooth, it's not worth buying.
Tuesday through Friday at 10 Eastern. Join Alex Bennett on the Ramble.
Congress even said that the briefing that they gave was ridiculous. They had two different Republicans even come out and say this is the worst thing we have ever seen come out on a military briefing. It was ridiculous.
Because they didn't hear what they wanted to hear. You know,
they wanted to hear something.
They wanted to hear. Wait a minute. Let me say something, Jason. Phil, they wanted to hear something and they heard nothing.
Tuesday through Friday at midnight, The Intersection.
Stay honest. Little jail time wouldn't hurt one of our presidents. I don't care which one gets it. You know, they do that in other countries. You know, Netanyahu in Israel is facing the possibility of having to wear a jailhouse yarmulke.
If you like sports, we've got that too with The Arena Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
Jade Roper Talbert is the one that won, and she is accused of cheating. So she was a former contestant on The Bachelor, and she is married to Tanner Tolbert, who, according to ESPN, David's Purdom, is known to be a known high-volume daily fantasy player.
Catch up on all the shows with our weekend flashback. All shows have the Citizen Panel, an exclusive concept of GabNet. It's new, it's daring, it's talk like you've never heard it before. Years and still talking. This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey everybody, Alex Bennett. It is the Ramble, going till midnight tonight on the East Coast of the United States. And here I am, your humble and obedient host, right here. There I am. Yes, it's me. It's me. Okay, well, goodbye. See you later. I'm a little, I don't know, I'm not feeling right today. I'm just all, I don't know. I feel like I'm not well. And I don't want to get sick because I got to do that operation maybe later, sometime next week, like Tuesday. But if I get a cold today, I'll have it on, it'll be gone by Tuesday, so I don't have to worry about it. But I think it's some kind of allergies I've got. You know, when the weather gets weird and everything, there gets to be dust in this house, and I start getting all kinds of weird stuff. Anyway. Boy, this picture looks great, doesn't it? You know what I did? You know what I went out and bought? It'll be here in a couple of days. I bought a green screen. Yes, folks, I broke down and bought a green screen. Now, what is a green screen? A green screen is what they use on television. Like when the weatherman's there and he goes, here's this, and here's that, and here's this, and here's that. Well, there's a green screen in back of him. And if you ever saw us on our old TV show, when we did the show here as a TV show, we used a green screen to create an entire studio, okay? And what it is, simply, is you have a green screen, and then I simply key out the green screen and lay something in behind it. So I can lay in a photograph of something or a pattern of some sort or whatever. And so I was, where was it? I was on Amazon, and for $129, they had this green screen that will take up this much of the thing and about that high. Okay, it's like over 6 feet high. And how do I get it in here? Well, you just take it and you roll it down, and it's just, just a flat little thing. So it's very easy to put up and take down. So maybe in a week or so, you'll see me with a different background. Maybe. We'll see how that works. I'm still feeling, the doctor told me the other day when I didn't get operated on, I told him I was feeling a little fatigued and tired. He said, that's as a result of the radiation. He says, it doesn't really hit you till a couple of weeks later. And I've been dozing in the middle of the day and everything like that. So it has not been good. And then I've got Marjorie is not well either. She's got something wrong with her leg. We're two old people just getting older, and I want to have as little wrong with me as is humanly possible. But as you know, I was supposed to have a little procedure this week, which I was looking forward to getting over and done with, and then we can't do it because the hospital screwed up. I give up. You know, I'm beginning to think that maybe I should just not take do the whole thing, just die from prostate cancer. That would be, you know, it's a way of committing suicide, isn't it? Okay, it's a slow way of committing suicide, but it's a way of committing suicide, because I look at the way this country is going, and I've really got nothing to live for. You know, if I were, as I say, if I were younger, if I were, even just 20 years younger, I think I might consider moving to another country and taking up citizenship there, or at least residence there, because this place is going to be turning into a hellhole, okay? The latest evidence of that is our president making Mike Pence the head of taking care of our response to the coronavirus. This was a guy who, in his state, took away funding for AIDS and AIDS-related programs because of his religious belief. And and this is the guy who is going to be running a response to the coronavirus. He doesn't even believe in science, folks. How's he going to give a response to the coronavirus? And everybody's been complaining about it today. And under his watch, in a time when really AIDS infections have been going down, he also fought the use of giving out needles, a needle exchange program to people who were heroin addicts, because if you had a needle exchange program and they used clean needles all the time, then they wouldn't take the chance of getting AIDS, okay? As a result, in his state, AIDS went up 50%, okay? This is the guy who is going to respond to a health alert, a health problem that we've got going today? No, I don't think so. So when I see something like that happen, I go, oh my God. And then yesterday, Trump went on television, held a press conference to talk about his initiative to take care of the whole problem out there, the whole coronavirus thing, and gave just a compelling speech that the stock market dropped another 1,100 points today. Yeah, yesterday he gave that speech mainly because the stock market was starting to tank, and he wanted to calm everybody down. And all he did was up their fears, because they suddenly realized we have a president who's incapable of handling the situation. He got up and said, oh, well, this is that, and this is how it works. And he was acting like Dr. Don, okay? There was a jock by the name of Dr. Don Rose in San Francisco. Anyway, long gone, dead. Nice guy. Anyway, where was I? So he gives this whole speech about, there's nothing to worry about, and we only got a couple of cases in the United States, and it's never going to catch on here, and blah, 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 blah. Now I'm going to turn you over to somebody who's an expert on this, and one of his doctors or whatever that knows about this, and they said, oh, no, it's not a matter of when. You know, it's not a matter of whether it will or not. It's a matter of when, okay? And they completely went against everything he had said in his speech for what he thought was calming the American public. To him, calming down the American public is not giving them the blunt truth and then having them live with it. His idea of telling them and calming them down is by lying to them. Okay, and everything he was saying in his speech was a lie. Well, people realized that, and today the stock market went down another 1,100 points, saying, we're all going to die. Now, for anybody out there who goes, well, come on, the coronavirus is just another piece of fake news. No, it's not. It's for real. And we've had a case now out in California, and they found another, I think they're testing another couple of hundred people who they suspect might have come in contact with the coronavirus. And they don't understand this coronavirus that happened in California because the guy didn't have any contact with people who've been overseas or anything like that. So they're trying to figure out how the transmission took place, and they think he may have gotten it from somebody else, like he went to the mall, went into a Starbucks, for instance, and somebody there had it, and he caught it, okay? So that's what they're really worried about now. And now here in New York, there's somebody being actively tested for the coronavirus. So, yeah, and you go, well, that's only a couple of people. But that's how these things start. That's how... the kind of situation that we're talking about goes ballistic, okay? So the fact of the matter is, when I see stuff like this, I go, God, I had to live long enough to see this, huh? This is why I wanted to live a long life, is so I could put up with this. What a bunch of maroons. I don't know. There's coffee to you. Let me have some. I need it tonight, and I'm also worried I've got a cold. I'm going to get a cold, and then I won't be able to get my seed implants. I just want to get that over with. You know, I didn't get any word today on when, and you know what I hate is this other thing about somebody has to pick you up from the hospital. Oh well, we'll get to that later. Anyway, we're still talking about the coronavirus. So, you know, we're living in a time when really, this man is destroying America. Single-handedly destroying it, dismantling it. One of the reasons we've had a weak response to the coronavirus, we didn't have enough people in the CDC because last year he let them go. There was just a handful of people left at the CDC now. When right now we could use all the hands on deck that we could possibly have. Meanwhile, Mike Pence is basking in the light of, oh, look at my importance and whatever. But he's not the man for the job because he doesn't believe in science to begin with. So how's he going to be able to judge what science is good and what science is bad? He's incapable of it. Just absolutely bleeping-lutely incapable of it. Well, why should I? Why should I make you unhappy, right? No reason to make you unhappy. Let me talk to you for a moment about something I used to do. I used to produce a show here in New York City, which is, if I had to talk about my successes, my biggest successes weren't my radio shows here in New York. And my biggest successes were in California when I was at out there at Live 105, actually, was the station in the Quake. And that was very successful. I mean, we had a hit show going out there. But the other most successful thing I ever did, and the thing I'm most proud of, was a show called Midnight Blue, which I did here in New York, which I produced, directed, and occasionally I hosted segments on, far more than I ever remembered that I had. Because recently, a bunch of tapes came out of Midnight Blue for sale, and I actually had to buy them because the creep who runs the company never sent me any. He thinks he has the rights to these things, but he really doesn't, okay? Because they never went into copyright. Okay, so because he puts copyright at the end of his video doesn't mean everything inside that thing is copywritten. Only the, shall we say, the configuration, maybe he could say was copywritten, and I doubt if he could show me a copyright either. And I met with this guy once, and I said, you know, I really don't like the fact that you're using my likeness and my voice, which was on the beginning of every Midnight Blue, without my permission. And he goes, do I have your permission? And I went, no. He said, well, what if we use it? I said, you can't use it. He said, why? I said, because I never signed a release for any of my appearances on Midnight Blue. So you don't have a release for me. In fact, you don't have a release for anybody, to be very honest with you. And more than that, there are other people who appeared on the show that I know that likewise do not have your permission. You do not have their permission to use them. So he said, well, what can I do about this? I said, well, you can take me out of everything that you've got there. And he goes, well, that would be like everything. We'd have to change all the shows, and we can't do that, and that would cost me a lot of money, and I'm not making money out of this, and I plan to stop this after a year or so anyway. Can't you give me some slack? And I said, okay, here's the deal. You got the tapes. I want them. Okay, so you have to allow me to use any of the tapes or to get copies of the files of those tapes so that I can make my own configurations or use them for whatever I want to use them for. He says, deal. He said, I'll write you a letter to that extent that you can have the right. I said, okay, fine. I've never seen the letter. Okay, guy never made good on it. Guy's a slime bag. And so consequently, I decided I would go out and buy the tapes, at least the tapes that he put together. And then I would start chopping them up so I could show you things from Midnight Blue on this program. Now, there's a lot of stuff on Midnight Blue I can't show you, and I wish I also had a lot of the stuff that he didn't put on these tapes. But I decided that I would go through the tapes, take a few things out that we could play here without any real problem. And this is one that I really is a classic, okay? And what it was is a guy came to me by the name of Joey Skaggs. And he said, you know what I'm starting? I said, no, what are you starting? He said, I'm starting a thing called the Cat House for Dogs. So what's that? He says, it's an establishment where we allow male dogs to come and get laid. And I went, oh, sounds interesting. Now, immediately I smell that this thing is really not for real. He said, 2 weeks from Saturday, bring your crew to this address, and you can see the Cat House for Dogs. You can do a video on it. So I knew it was a phony. Okay, I mean, I just smelled it. He didn't tell me, right? He thought he was pulling one over on me, but he wasn't pulling one over on me. But I decided to take my crew, and I made my crew believe that it was for real too, so that when we shot it as though it was the real thing. And I'm going to show it to you now, and then after it's over, I'm going to tell you what happened after this aired. Because of all the things we ever did on Midnight Blue, it's probably the most innocent thing we ever did on Midnight Blue. But it also had some very interesting ramifications. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time with me presenting it, and a very young me, by the way. Look at me. I wasn't bad looking. The Cat House for Dogs, okay?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Alex Bennett. And tonight, Midnight Blue visits a cat house where all the females are real bitches.
No. You hear me? These are customers who have responded to various ads in various publications who have agreed to come here with their dogs for the purpose of getting their dogs laid. This is Sarah Brown and Ruby. Ruby is a beautiful Saluki bitch. Sarah will introduce her to you.
She's a reincarnation of Cleopatra. And now she is a street walker.
Betty Drake and Blackberry. Isn't she beautiful?
You run
a brothel for dogs.
a brothel for dogs. As a matter of fact, you have advertised it in the
Village Voice.
in the Village Voice. The ad reads, and I
Cat House
quote,
for dogs, featuring a savory selection of hot bitches, from Pedigree, parenthesis, Fifi the French Poodle, end parenthesis, to Mutz, Lady the Tramp. Handler and vet on duty. Stud and photo service available. No weirdos, please. Dogs only. By appointment.
And with that ad, you have officially opened your cat house for dogs, and that is precisely where we are this evening.
Right.
It's dog's first time. He's never been out here before. This is, I brought him here because I felt this is a safer place to bring him than this, trusting to the common street dogs and dogs, you know, that tend to be illness-ridden and have syphilis and gonorrhea. I wanted to...
Well, he's a country dog, and he's used to having ladies around, you know. And when he doesn't have them around, he's in the city, you know. He gets like this. He gets really mean. And he's hard to take care of. And well, I don't know if it ever happened to you. See what I mean? He really needs a woman now, right now. And if he doesn't get one, you know, we're all in trouble. I mean, did you ever think what a hickey from an 80-pound German Shepherd would be like?
How do you feel about her doing what she does?
Well, she doesn't have to do anything.
Well, she has to put out.
Well, yeah, but she doesn't know that it's called putting out.
She enjoyed it.
She actually likes politicians better.
There is a bone inside the penis of a dog, and it grows. The erected penis of a dog is about a foot long, up to a foot. One of the problems we've had, Alex, is to prevent dogs from literally knocking their joint out of joint, and we have a handler here who assists in the act to... the way a dog makes love is to grab a hold of the female, to mount, to insert, and then to turn himself around so they're facing ass to ass. And we've had problems with virgin male dogs who have not been able to swing their hind legs over and face back to back and actually have been pulled apart by the female trying to get away. And that's why we have handlers here. Come on.
Come on, Gully.
Come on. Gully must be a...
Gully may be a fag, I don't know.
The purpose of this meeting is to introduce the customers and their dogs to the brothel, to the bitches. And after they've chosen which bitch they wish their dog to mate with, we then inject the dogs with the drug which induces heat. And we have a second meeting, and it's then when they copulate. This is primarily, the first meeting is a social meeting. And the dogs are chosen, and then they're mated. Hello.
Did anyone ever tell you what beautiful brown eyes you have? What beautiful white hair you have?
We also are planning on franchising this and coming out with bumper stickers pretty soon, which will say, get your dog a little tail.
Well, that's it. That's our evening at a cat house for dogs. And it is for real, and it is run by Mr. Joseph Skaggs.
Thank you, Alex. I hope you had a good time.
Who means business.
I mean...
No kidding around. This is it, right?
Satisfaction guaranteed, Alex.
Satisfaction guaranteed. Are they going to try and clean up businesses like this for the Democratic Convention, do you think?
Oh, I see. Not only in this city, but in other cities. Absolutely. I think we'll get a lot of customers.
Have you received any kind of calls from the police or the police wondering what this is all about?
No, not at all. Not at all. No, I'm not expecting any. What can I say about dogs making it?
Right. All right. Well, from a cat house for dogs, this is Alex Bennett, and we bid you...
Hi. You're kind of cute.
You know that? Well, I hate dogs.
And that was the Cat House for Dogs, ladies and gentlemen. The Cat House for Dogs was... now, let me explain something about that now. Because here's what makes it so damn tasty, the whole piece. So we did this piece, and if you look at it, well, I told you ahead of time it was a put-on, right? That it was a hoax. That it didn't really exist, and that I had to convince my, my crew that it was real. And we shot it like it was real. And we put it on the air and edited it like it was real. And the next thing we know, Channel 7 here in New York is giving me a call. And they say, we were talking to Joey Skaggs. We hear about this cat house for dogs, and we wanted to go out and do a documentary on it or a piece on it for our newscast. But he said, no, we couldn't, but that you had footage of it. Could you lend it to us? So I said, yeah, sure, if you give us credit for it. And they said, sure. And they run it on Channel 7. And they're talking about it like it's the real thing. Like it's absolutely, there's no question that this exists. Then, the next thing we know, Joey, who by this time knows that I know what's going on, but that I'm going to go along with the joke, gets a call from the Attorney General of the state of New York, Louis Lefkowitz. They want him to appear before Louis Lefkowitz in Albany. They want to question the legality of a cat house for dogs. Now, this is kind of, if you know Joey, he was the maximum hoaxer, and this meant that he had, this was success, okay, for him. Made him very happy, a feeling of great success, okay? So he goes up to see Louis Lefkowitz in Albany, New York, and shows up wearing a picture of Snoopy on his as a T-shirt under a jacket. He was very nicely dressed, but he had the Snoopy T-shirt, and then it said under it, April Fool, because it happened to be April Fool's. It happened to be April 1st. And he went in and he told Lefkowitz all about it and said, look, it's all a hoax. It's all a put on. And finally, after about a half hour of wrangling with the Attorney General conceded that it probably, yes, was a hoax because it didn't seem that likely. And that's what happened with that. Now, as a side note, to show you how lousy WABC here in New York was, once they found out about it, they never told their audience that it was a hoax. They never did another story on it. Now, if you were an honest news operation, you'd say, remember that story a couple of nights ago we showed you about the cat house for dogs? Well, we found out it was all a hoax and it doesn't exist. But they didn't do that. And so to this day, anybody who watched their newscast, didn't watch any of the others to see about Louis Lefkowitz and Joey Skaggs showing up in Albany, would think that there was, in fact, for real, a cat house for dogs. So I consider that we did a great job of filming it, and he did a great job of creating a hoax, and it's just fun that all these people had to put up with this. Oh man, what some people will allow to go on. Anyway, let me see here. Let me go turn on where. I always forget where the Skype is here. I don't know why. And I'm going to see if I can get through the show tonight. If I'm too tired by 11:30, I may just call the show short. I want to have that right from here on in. Anyway, the lines are now open. Let me make this active. There we go. And we're ready to go, I guess. Now, here are some quick actions to get you started. Stay connected. Start a conversation. Open the dial pad. I am so tired of Skype. I really am. They're such a... They aren't... I don't know. There's something wrong. They're not doing things right. Oh, boy. I have that on too loud. Let me see here. Oh, here comes Phil Meyer, ladies and gentlemen, to start off the show tonight. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Phil.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay. Okay. A little tired, but you know.
Is that due to the treatments that you had?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I you know, anytime I feel like I maybe have a little cold, but I don't have a cold because I'm not sneezing or sniffling. But I'm worried that, you know, I'm going to be sick before I finally get to that operating table, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, maybe they got to quarantine you for a couple of weeks, make sure that virus.
I don't have the corona. Let me see here. There we go. There's Bree. Let's see here. You're sideways, Bree. That's unacceptable.
Oh, not again.
Yeah. No, it's not turning. It's not turning. There's something that's got it locked, I think, is what the problem is.
Is he on screen or?
Are you on an airplane? You should really check that thing because there must be a way of unlocking it. There you go. Now that's fine. It's fine.
Okay, I can't see anything, but
you can't.
It's fine if you can see me.
Yeah.
No, I can't see anything. I see Phil. That's it.
Well, first of all,
really subject me to this.
Let me see here. Let me go here and get you into one of these places here. I'll put you in the number 3 slot, and this is, let's see here. There we go. Bree, PGH. There we go. Okay. All right. There he is. Okay. We need your heads a little bit. Yeah. There we go. That's much better. All right. Are you on an airplane, are you?
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Singapore.
Singapore? Why are you going to Singapore?
Oh, that is a long story, Alex. My bank is essentially putting my life at risk.
What? Wait a minute.
My bank is putting my life at risk.
Okay. What you're saying is your bank is making you go to their bank, which is in Singapore, where they might have the coronavirus, right? Is that it?
They have what?
They have the corona because they're putting you in line of the coronavirus, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
I could not get it. Sorry, I heard Scott there.
Scott, I mean Jeff.
Oh, Jeff.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Or maybe I'm getting my own echo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do it on the phone, and I couldn't do it through registered mail. I have to go in person, as much as I protested.
What do you mean? What do you have to do by mail or by phone? What are you trying to do?
Okay. All right. So, gosh,
please make this quick and not too terribly boring.
Okay. I have a bank account in Singapore, and I do most of the stuff online, but they had my Dubai number, but my Dubai number shut off, after a certain number of months. I thought I updated it. I must have forgotten, or I don't know what happened. And so my token, they give you this little generator thing. You push a button, it gives a number.
Mm-hmm.
The battery died on that. So I had no way to go to my online banking. So I put a new battery in the token generator. I had to follow a YouTube video. It was
I don't even know what you mean by a token generator.
It's like a passcode to make a secure thing. Yeah. So end result, I have no way to access the online account. Now, meanwhile, I have a credit card that I used when I first came here, and the fees are piling up. They're piling up because I can't pay it. So I have no choice. I have to go. So I registered mailed something there, but it bounced back. It said, we can't deliver registered mail to a post office box. So I sent a regular letter, but I got no response. Now they're $200. So far I'm up almost $600 in fees. And so I have to go down.
On one end, this is the most complicated story I've heard, and on the other end, one of the most boring.
How far is Kuala Lumpur from Singapore? I know they're both poor, but
no, one's poor and one's poor.
Depends on how you go. I'm actually on a bus.
You're on a bus? It looks like a plane.
Yeah. So you can take a bus to Singapore from Kuala Lumpur? Aren't they different islands?
Yeah. That is a whole nother story.
Here we go.
Ask the question.
I have enough trouble staying awake today as it is. Go on.
Okay, so the airport, if I go to the airport, it will take an hour in like what we call Grab, which is like your Uber. It would take an hour to get there. Then I have to be there 2 hours in advance, right? So that's 3 hours minimum, maybe 3.5. Whereas the bus station is 5 minutes from my office. So it's about the same amount of price, but so it's just a little bit different, but it's about the same. So it'll take 5 or 6 hours to get there with the bus, and if you go on the airplane, it's only a 1 hour flight, but getting there takes an hour plus 2 hour wait either side. You know what I mean? So yeah.
In California, we think about that all the time. Should I drive to LA? It's a 5.5 hour drive. Or should I fly there? It's an hour and 15-minute flight, but you got all the other crap on both sides. The car.
Now, the person, I switched seats because the person behind me looks very sick. And so I switched seats hoping, I don't know. And I do have masks, and I have a lot of hand sanitizer and spray. So I'll be using that.
I would put the mask on right now if the guy is looking sick behind you.
She is.
She.
So you switched seats, and the person you switched with is now going to get the coronavirus?
No, I mean, I took an empty seat. There are a lot of empty seats on this bus. It was showing that it was completely booked online, but that's not true. It's half.
Because nobody's traveling, Bree.
The sick lady the whole bus, so she couldn't infect anybody.
Do you want to see?
I don't.
Do you want to see?
Yeah, show us the rest of the bus.
Okay, hold on.
Here we go. It's going to show us the rest of the bus. There's the result of the coronavirus right there, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Oh boy.
What are you going to do for lunch?
Probably throw up and then go to a hospital.
They do have a charger here, so I can plug in and charge my phone.
Yeah.
But I stopped at the mall before and got an Auntie Anne's hot dog. It's waiting for me here. They do serve a meal, but because I bought at the last minute, I'm supposed to get a cup of noodles, but I think they have extra because I think some people canceled their plans.
Yeah.
Smartly, wisely so.
Yeah, and if you order beer, don't forget to order Corona.
Their stocks, their brand image is going down. I read yesterday.
Yeah, I would imagine. Damn.
Yeah. I'm going to buy some stock tomorrow because I decided that it's been a 10% correction. This is a buying opportunity.
But you don't know what to buy.
I was going to buy Microsoft.
I'm just going to buy the S&P index.
Yeah, I wish I were back home. I was definitely going to do some buying, but
what stocks are doing very well right now?
Not Microsoft or Apple.
No.
I may cut in and out on you, Alex.
Right.
I would imagine U.S. stocks for vaccines.
No.
No? What?
Netflix? Stock is up a great deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody's staying home.
That's right. I would imagine movie stocks for the movie theater chains is probably down. IMAX dropping like a rock.
Yeah, nobody wants to go out.
Also, they have a lot of theaters in China.
We had a case that was transferred. The guy never went to China in Solano County.
Yes, we know, Phil. It's been all over the news.
Yeah. Well, it's local for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we can only hope it comes out your way. But I mean, it's I'm surprised you didn't think this whole thing's a hoax or that it's a phony scare or.
You mean the Trump virus?
The Trump virus is a phony scare. Yeah. Actually,
he put Mike Pence in charge.
Yeah, that was a great smart deal. The guy knows nothing about science, Phil.
And what did Biden know about cancer when Obama put him in charge of
Phil,
fighting
we're not.
cancer?
He's not president. He doesn't have any part of the government right now. Wait a minute. Don't give me any of that because I'm sick and tired of your whataboutisms because it has nothing to do with the fact that they gave Pence a job that he's totally incapable of doing because he doesn't know the first thing about medicine, about science, and secondly, when he did have a state where he had to deal with a medical issue, AIDS went up 50%.
We'll see. Maybe you learn by your mistakes.
Yeah, Phil, come on, grow up.
You're just repeating the talking points.
No, it's not. I'm not repeating the talking points. These are facts.
Yeah, well, we'll see how he does. He happens to be the vice president, and if he wants to be, if he's put in charge of something,
He's vice president
he's a
because
good person
Trump
to do
says
it.
he is the vice president.
Well, that's good enough.
Well, no, it's not. Whenever Trump recommends somebody, it's not a good idea.
He hadn't fired him.
You're going to keep up with this, Phil. Really? Are you going to slog this old horse?
Come feel the bite of my sword!
Right. Yeah, I was going to slog
What was
the.
that?
It was a sound.
Oh boy. I don't know.
Did you hear that?
What?
The sound effect.
No.
No, it doesn't go over.
No, didn't hear it.
Oh, so you put in one of those signals to the other people. No, you didn't hear it. All right.
No, I didn't hear it, Phil.
Oh, okay. Well, let me try another one that's louder. See if you hear that.
No, you're going to be annoying with sound effects?
Yeah, I'm going to... let me try this one. Did you hear that?
You didn't hear it, did you, Jeff?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you hear it? Did you hear it,
Not at all.
Bree?
What are you talking about?
He supposedly... Did you try to play something, Phil? Was that what it was?
Yeah.
No, we didn't hear it.
All right. Try this.
No, don't try again. Don't try again because it hasn't worked the other times, and I don't want to spend the whole rest of the show with you trying to make sound effects work.
Well,
because once you get them working, I'm going to have to tell you don't play those damn things, or I'm hanging up on you.
Okay. Well, you got a conversation?
No, I'm all out. I'm tapped here. Yeah.
Well, let's see. So, you think Netflix is the thing to buy because people are going to be staying home? I don't. I think that they're a little overblown right now on this
Phil,
virus.
the stock has already gone up immensely in the last couple of days.
Do you think there's another reason why, or
no? That's the only reason why. When everything else is going down because of the coronavirus, then anything that goes up is probably because of the coronavirus as well.
Well, people aren't staying home from work locally.
Wrong.
Well, I know that in China they are.
Phil, the stocks that are going down are the ones like Apple and so on. Most of the businesses in this country depend upon China for part of their living.
Wow. I had my best month this month ever in business.
Okay, so?
Yeah. Well, bring on the virus. That's what it takes.
The fact is that the people are losing money like crazy because it's just not it's not working. Boy.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to go down much more, or?
Who knows? I mean, it's gone down 3,000 points this week.
Yeah, that's almost 10%.
Yeah,
or a little 10%.
That's a 3,000 points down. That's not good. And my serious stock, which I had, is down something like 30. Something like that.
I tried to sell. I was going to sell 2 weeks ago. I should have.
Yeah.
It was at 740.
Well,
I
I
made a mental note.
The only reason I don't sell my serious stock
is you'd have to pay tax on it.
I'd have to pay taxes on it, where when I sell my Vanguard, the tax is already paid on it. So,
So are you required to take a certain amount every year?
Yeah. Every year they
See what happens.
They send me a check. They sent me a check this year for about $1,000 as part of that buyout.
Yeah.
But I still then it went up. So I buy anything that they gave me, I made back plus some. And now, of course, we're in the toilet. Okay, so
So on the same premise, why wouldn't Sirius stock go up if Netflix stocks goes up?
I have no idea. I have no idea unless it has something to do with, I don't know, supplying.
People aren't driving to work.
The satellite radio sucks.
Well, that's one reason
People
why.
don't listen at home. They listen in their car.
Yeah, pretty much.
They're not going there. They're not going there.
There's a serious.
Right now, they're not going there.
Yeah.
Well, all I'm saying is that the Netflix stock has gone up quite a bit. Let me see here. Netflix stock. Netflix stock. Well, it was going down. Now it looks like it's up.
Yeah, long term,
one day.
wouldn't buy
Yeah,
Netflix.
one day.
Short term.
One day. Let's see. It was going up, and then it's gone down again. Strange. Hard to tell you, but anyway, it was up over about 2 days ago. It took a peak. Took a real peak.
Yeah.
And then it went. Then it went down. Then it went down.
I'm just wondering whether they announced something and they made some sort of change.
No, Phil. It has to do with the fact that people were buying Netflix because they figured that they would do better business because people will stay home and need to get their entertainment there. That's the reason why.
All right, Jeff, what are you buying?
I'm selling.
You're selling?
Don't sell right now. Do not sell. Don't sell, because
I don't know. His wife sold at the absolute best time and the last time. She might have a special touch.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's gone down so badly now that you're going to eat that loss. You know that. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. You probably you know more about stocks and
the amount going down is not going to stop by tomorrow.
Yeah. Is anybody else going to call tonight, or is this going to be it? I have no idea what. There's nothing else going on,
This disease is not just happened. It's going to get worse.
They've known about it for several months. I know that Trump stopped travel from China to the U.S., and I know that Alex went to you went to a party with Chinese people that had visited China recently, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
And did anybody get sick in that household since the?
No.
No. Okay, that's good.
Although maybe that's what I have now. I don't.
Yeah. Well, if you've got a touch of it, that could delay your operation.
Jesus. You're always the bearer of good news, aren't you?
Yes. I'm Jewish.
You really want to see me. You want to see me. You know what I've decided? You want to see me have a catheter. You want to see me have a catheter. You always keep saying they're going to use a catheter in you. You're going to go home. You're going to go home with a catheter.
Wait a minute. That is not a
But you
vision
want me to
that I
have a
want.
catheter because you had to suffer through a catheter. And I asked my doctor, and he said, no, you will not need one going home. You're only going to have one while the operation is in progress.
Everything they've told you hasn't come to fruition. You go in, you get prepped, there's no operation. Now the story is there's not going to be a catheter. Well, we'll see.
I got all my radiation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they had to get rid of the radiation. It was going to spoil.
Yeah. What is that you're showing us there, Bree?
That's the entertainment thing.
Yeah.
I've
got some movies.
Yeah.
That I can pick.
Well, don't play any of them because we don't want problems.
Right. I haven't seen Money Monster or First Man. Mm-hmm. I don't know what Bird Mansions is. I don't want to see Bird Box. I did see Ghost in the Shells, and I did see Guardians.
Bird Box is pretty good.
No, I thought it sounded dumb.
Oh, no, it sounded dumb, but it was actually a pretty good movie. What did you think, Alex?
What?
Bird Box?
Bird Box?
Also got Asian and health and kids and documentary business. New Malaysia, music videos, mini clips, technology, TED Talks, travel, I've also got music.
What you
and
got is
photos and
lousy
games.
Wi-Fi. That's what you got.
Yeah.
No, English, Chinese, Korean. All the places they got the virus, the Trump virus.
Really? By the way, I just looked. I so far made $5.94
Hey,
off my
$4
monitor.
will be a full house.
Huh?
That will get you one lunch.
Well, if we don't get more people here within the next 15, 20 minutes, I'm going to go to sleep. You know?
Why did you make $5?
On the monetization of those commercials that run before the shows. But the thing is, I have this problem with YouTube, and I finally wrote them today. And I said, why is it if I put up two shows that are identical, one of them happens to be your posting of the show, and mine happens to be a posting of a recording I make. Why is it one of them says I can't have monetization and the other one says I can? I said, there's no consistency in what you do. And I can't figure that one out. Right now I'm running live and I said I want it monetized and it says it can't be monetized. Why? We haven't even said anything yet.
Why are you putting up two? Why wouldn't you just leave the YouTube one up on YouTube?
Because the first one does not have 5 minutes worth of promos on it. The one that I'm recording, okay, and the one that they put up does. And I have to then go in and edit that, but the edited version isn't ready till the next morning. So that's the reason I have two versions of it. Yes. Does that make sense, Phil?
Yeah, I don't understand why you can't have the promos, but because it's part of the show.
I don't want those promos there. I want people to get the start of the show at the very beginning. Why shouldn't I do it that way? That's what I feed to Facebook. That's what I feed to Vimeo. And that's what I also put up so that people can get a cleaner version of it. You know, that's the reason why.
I've always felt that you should just have one version. You know, I never understood why there were two.
The reason there are two, I just explained it.
Right. Okay. I understand it,
yes,
but I don't get it.
Alec prefers no promos.
Because I prefer a version that's clean of promos that I can use it on Facebook and elsewhere and doesn't have just a bunch of promos at the beginning of it. And so I record one here, and that's the one that goes up and that I post. That one also gets posted on YouTube. The other one has the promos. I do edit them out, but it takes about 8 hours for it to be processed, okay, the edited version. So that's the reason why, okay? Plain and simple. This is the one that I like to put in everything else that I do. This is what I put on Facebook. I put it on Vimeo. Where else? I use it one other place, too, where they just get that version of it. So, you know, so it's a clean...
Where he is.
What?
Looks like Hawaii. Yeah.
Well, it is a tropical climb after all, Phil.
Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah. So is anybody gonna call tonight and put me out of my misery, or do I have to just put up with this? Okay. Anyway, I have nothing to talk about. Absolutely nothing to talk about.
Well, with all this money that you're bringing in, $5.22 or whatever it is, maybe I ought to invest in this.
$5.95.
Well, that's good.
Hey, if you sell
already getting up for it.
If you sell the stock, you're going to have to put it somewhere. It might as well be Gabnet.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. Invest in Gabnet, your best investment. Yeah. You know.
This way, Alex can buy a few more things for his show or for the studio.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm buying a green screen. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought you said you didn't need a green screen with OBS.
I don't need one, but I'm going to use one.
Oh, okay.
Because I plan on turning out some other stuff too. So and it's a very interesting little green screen. It's on a rail and it just goes up and then it comes down.
Yeah, I got one of those from Adorama. I think it was like $49 for the whole setup, but the rail was so cheap.
No, this is $129, and it's a wide kind of like shafty thing, and then you put it down on the floor, and then you just pull it up like this.
Oh.
And it you can pull it up 3 feet, or you can pull it up. I think you can pull it up any number of different heights, and it's wider than this.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to try it. I may not use it on this show, but I'm going to use it for other stuff. So
But you need 4 lights, right?
No.
2 to shine at the green screen.
No.
And 2 to shine at
No, I've got enough lights here with this.
Yeah. And you'll get separation. Okay.
Yeah. And if I
At
can't,
some point,
I'll throw it out. What?
At some point, Alex, not here on the show, but I would like to understand what technology you use, because we want to set up something similar to that later this year at the school, where the students can do, their own shows as well.
Yeah, I
be able to take
I can give you all the information. I mean, the program that I use for doing the video on this is actually free, and it's maybe one of the best programs around.
Okay, great.
I've tried others, of ones that cost money, and they don't even come close to this. This is very simple, very easy, and
then the other thing
and quite robust.
I want to set up
Yeah.
With you is that there is a journal in our field that I'm very closely related to since they started, called Journal of Radio and Audio Media. They used to be called Journal of Radio Studies.
Yeah.
And sometimes they will allow interviews to be in a symposium section. So, like, what I want to do is create a series of questions for you through email and have you answer them, and then I write it up into a piece for the journal.
Okay. Yeah. That sounds okay. Sounds doable.
Right.
Right. But anyway, so where did Phil go? Now Phil's left.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I don't know where he went.
No, he's right here.
Oh, he's right there. Okay. Well, if nobody else is going to call, and nobody else is going to call this show, I may call it quits in about another 12 minutes here, and then maybe not do a show tomorrow night. What the hell, I don't.
Oh, I was going to join you from the Merlion Park.
The what park?
Merlion.
Where?
Singapore.
Oh, in Singapore. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I think I was on the show when I was in Singapore.
I think you did. Yeah, you showed those big towers.
No, that's Kuala Lumpur.
No. What? Wait a minute. Was that the place? Kuala Lumpur has the big towers, the 2 towers that are stuck together. Yeah. Okay.
What's the name of those towers? They're famous.
Petronas Towers, and actually, if you were paying attention, when we go past the gas stations here, they're called Petronas gas station.
Okay.
A lot of them.
Green screen.
Yeah, well, you just got the cloth. This is a whole thing that,
The other stuff too comes in this bag.
Yeah, but you see, this is all in one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all in one. You don't have to assemble it or anything. It just folds, it goes down into the bottom part of it, and you just raise it up. There's these
like the old movie screens you had for the 8mm projectors.
Kind of like that, yeah. Except it also has some cross hatches and arms on it, so that it
keep it tight.
Huh?
It'll keep it tight so you don't.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And so that you can also put it at various heights and so on.
Yeah. Well, I got lazy. I bought the thing. I never used it.
Yeah, well, I'll get it and play with it this weekend, see how it works. If I do it, none of you guys will be able to notice what's happening because all you're going to see is just a green screen in back of me, and that's it. Because I don't do it on the. You're up above? There's a 2-level bus. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, that's right.
Really? Oh, and I bet there's nobody on the lower level either, right?
No, there's people on the lower level. It's like a lounge.
Those are the ones that aren't sick.
Boy, that's a fancy bus.
I don't think anybody.
Do we have buses like
Yeah.
that? Do we have buses like that in America?
We have those London-style buses they use around Union Square.
No. Wait. This thing, he says downstairs, there's a lounge.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have that here in America. I mean, otherwise Greyhound would still be doing good business.
Well, they have those double-decker buses. That's what they are. But there's just seats on the bottom and open on the top.
Yeah. They're sightseer buses. Yeah.
I used to take this bus all the time when I went from Singapore up to KL. So now I'm going the other way.
Somebody said here, Alex, you should stop complaining about too few callers as long as someone is making good conversation. Okay, then I'll keep complaining about no callers.
I knew that was coming.
Gee, I have nothing to talk about because if I bring up Trump, we're just going to be going at it with Phil, and that's a losing proposition.
Tonight, I'll weaponize with what Pelosi is doing. Trump is killing the people. Trump is making life miserable for everyone. He's appointing people that are going to make money off this virus.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So, and your point is?
Well, I'm trying to be as facetious as possible.
When she's right, she's right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, they do think that Biden is going to take South Carolina. That's what they're saying.
And you know something, Bree? He can take Carolina and he can keep it. Okay?
Said he was going to win in double digits.
Well, but you know who's in second place there?
Tom Steyer?
Yeah. Could somebody explain that to me? That makes no sense to me at all.
Well, no, it should make sense to you. They like Joe Biden.
Yeah.
I just don't see how Tom Steyer comes in second. That just baffles my mind.
Yeah.
I guess he spent a lot of money there.
Really? Well, you would think.
Well, they said 18 million or something.
I signed up for the free stuff from Bloomberg. He sends you a email, and if you sign up, and it's free, I'll get a scarf or a bandana. I get a pack of matches with a terrible picture of Trump on it, and then I also, it was for light the fuse, I guess, to blow up Trump, and then what was the other thing? Oh, a button, a Mike in 2020 button.
Really?
Yeah. And it says the free stuff will keep on coming. You want me to send you one so you can sign?
It looks like I'm getting close to the pineapple fields.
Yeah.
You're getting close to the pineapple fields?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Boy, something? You've got a great Wi-Fi signal in that country. I mean, it's all over the country.
This is terrific.
I'm on 4G right now.
Yeah, but I mean, if you were doing forget Wi-Fi, I mean 4G. If we were doing that in a bus in the United States, you'd already gone off and on a couple of times.
They would have stole the phone.
Could be.
He would have been mugged.
Could be right now.
I mean, really, we tend to think of ourselves as being so terrific and technologically proficient, and we're really not.
It's all the fault of TrumpNet. If Trump didn't have anything to do with the internet, it would be good.
No, Alex, some YouTubers will take a video of this trip and and the bus and the service, and they'll get 100,000 hits.
Yeah,
They'll say this is how you take the bus from AL to Singapore.
Yeah.
You're starting to sound like Biden, who said that 150 million people have died from guns in this country in the last, I don't know how many years. So that's half the population of the United States. What he meant to say was 150,000, but he said 150 million. So you're starting with the gaffes, learning from Biden, the gaff monster.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you getting sick? Uh-oh.
I'm feeling warm. Yeah.
It's quarantine time.
Yeah.
Do they? Wait a minute. Do you
Not
have?
feeling too good.
You're not feeling too good?
I just kind of. Maybe I should eat the hot dog now.
Maybe that's the reason you don't feel good.
Yeah, because it's lunchtime. You could be right. I usually eat about now.
And what would this show be without you having lunchtime?
That's right.
Okay. That is true.
Now, what are you putting on this hot dog?
There are people who just tune this in and went, what the hell is going on here?
What? And pay for the hot dog. How much you think?
Okay, how much did I pay for the hot dog?
Alex, let's get first.
No, what kind of hot? Is that just a regular hot dog?
No, it's a pretzel dog.
A pretzel dog.
Huh.
So it's it's a hot dog in a pretzel.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 4 of those things to $1 in that country, your currency.
Yeah.
So I bet you that's 5 of the currencies. So that's $1.25, right?
No. This is a franchise from the States.
Oh.
So
$3.
Phil is incorrect.
By the way, Bruce Conover writes, oh, that's not very funny. You don't think Alex has ever followed through on his hundreds of threats to not do a show or end one early. I do make this threat all the time.
Yeah.
But this time I plan to, we have another 3 minutes if nobody else calls.
So Alex, did you take your guess at the amount?
For your pretzel dog?
Yeah.
I'm saying 60 cents.
Really?
Oh no.
Oh no!
Phil guessed at $1.50.
$1.50.
That's what Phil guessed that, but I haven't revealed the price yet.
Well, what is the price? Well, how about you, Jeff? You gotta wager a bet
Well,
here.
I would pick $2.
Oh, by the way, may I say a screw you to Kevin because he called and now I have to do more show.
Right.
Yeah.
You're screwed.
Yeah.
Okay, so let Kevin guess. How much is Bree's pretzel dog, hot dog?
Let's see, because it's an American pretzel dog and it was shipped over there.
All right,
It was made somewhere in Missouri.
Yeah.
$4.95.
Really?
Well, okay. I said 60 cents. Maybe I'm wrong. I'd say $1.10.
Well, $4.95 here and probably $2.10 there.
I was $1.50 and I was wrong. Jeff, get one in on this?
I said 2.
Jeff.
2.
Jeff
I
is
said
the
2.
closest without going over.
Oh, okay. So it's like the Price is Right, is it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hey,
Does this mean I can get one?
$2.25.
How much?
Come on down.
$2.25.
How much was it?
$2.25.
Well, I said $2.10.
Wow.
So
Wow.
Oh, you did?
That's a very
I thought
expensive
you said
pretzel dog.
$4.95, Kevin.
I said $4.95 over here, and then shipped over there is probably $2.10.
You know, based on some of the meals that Bree has been having lately, that is a very expensive hot dog.
Mm-hmm.
But it looked good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, it wouldn't cost you much more than that over here, actually, to tell you the damn truth. You know.
in the mall is one of those pretzel places. It's like a kiosk, and the pretzel, just the pretzel, is like $4.95.
Yeah, it's great.
And you wait in line for it.
Well, it must be one damn good pretzel.
Well, they're not bad. I can't remember the name of it. It might be that Annie's. I don't think it's Annie's. I don't remember what the Wetzel's pretzels.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I was almost going to say
a dozen
Yetzel's
of the little
pretzels.
dinky ones for like $6 or something, and then you got to pay 50 cents for a little thing of cheese.
Yeah, well, that's pretty cheesy.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
Those are jalapeno.
those are the more doughy kinds of pretzels, right? That's like what you're eating is a doughy pretzel, right?
It's a Noah bagel with jalapenos on it.
By the way, California has a thing called Noah's Bagels. You know what we're talking about, right? Yeah. Are they still around?
Yeah,
Tiger Woods.
Those were the worst bagels ever made.
Well, they're not water
bread.
bagels. They're bread.
They're bread. They weren't pretzels. They were big lie. I mean, everybody would go, "Do Jews really eat these?" You know.
If people, there's no water bagel places around. You know, they make the bagels. They put them in water.
They have water bagels. They have water bagels in San Francisco.
Who?
My mother used to get them all the time.
Yeah, well, now Noah's has put them all out of business, and all you got is chewy bread.
No, I'm sure I'm sure you can get a bagel, a water bagel. In fact, I remember buying one. God, down in the South Bay in a mall.
There was a place in Walnut Creek called Bagel King, and I think those are water bagels, but they don't make them there anymore. So they may be buying them from Noah's.
No, Noah's isn't a bagel. It isn't a bagel. You know,
it's chewy bread.
I haven't seen a bagel place that really boils water anymore.
Well, no, H&H still does. They closed the store. They closed the storefront, but they still make the bagels. They make the bagels for for Zabar's and for Fairway and for everybody. Yeah.
When I make my pretzel buns, it's almost like making a bagel. It's just the last part you put a egg wash on them, and that browns them up.
That's right. But the thing is that people,
I boil them.
If people want to know where they've heard about H&H Bagels before, that's where Kramer worked.
Yeah.
Where he had gone on strike, and the strike was over, so he went back to work for him. That's on the Festivus show. Yeah, so that they actually use the real name of places like H&H Bagels.
Yeah,
yeah, but
and that place, the deli that they would go eat at, and I don't remember the name, but that's a real place too, isn't it?
Yeah, but it isn't. It isn't called what they called it on the show.
Oh, really?
No, it's what's the name of it? And I know the name of it. It's over on Broadway, right near Columbia.
Yeah. What the hell is it?
If they had shot a little more to the right, they would have had the name of it on the show.
I see.
But they made it so it just said whatever.
Well, maybe the owner wanted a lot of money to have the name on the show, and so they decided to shoot to the left.
Listen, he's made more money off of that place because it was on the show.
Yeah.
But, let me see. The Seinfeld Diner. What's the name of it? Seinfeld Diner.
You got 27 listening, and we haven't talked about anything.
Well, that's not a lot.
27? That's not bad for what we've given them.
The Seinfeld Diner's
You put
name.
the-
Okay.
put the tag on the show.
Okay. It's called Tom's Restaurant.
Tom's? Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Tom's Restaurant. In fact, for people who want to see it, I will show you. Let me see here. Let me go to my screen. There we go. Let me just do a little transition here. You see, you know that, folks, right? But if you see, it says Tom's. If you look at it up there.
I won't see
it.
it.
Right up there, it says Tom's Restaurant. And what they did is they would cut it off about there on the show.
and
I
that's
get
what they would show. Yeah, the restaurant inside looks nothing like the one inside. Here we can go here. I think we'll get a bigger picture of it if I. There we go. There's Tom's
Just
restaurant.
coughed.
I see it.
See?
Somebody just coughed.
Yeah.
Sneeze.
Yep.
I'm dead. Basically, I'm dead, Alex.
Basically, you're dead. You think you've got it?
Oh, I can guarantee you at this point.
He had it.
This bread on this box.
I thought you said you had it once before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe I did.
Something.
Now I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, anyway, in case you just tuned in, we're watching Bree get the coronavirus.
Yes.
He's in.
Thanks to OCBC Bank.
No, there's a Corona, California, isn't there?
Yes.
I wonder if they get the
Not
coronavirus. Not anymore. They're changing the name of it. Yeah.
That's it. Can't you buy a Corona beer, right?
Right.
Yeah, you used to.
Used to be.
That's how you get rid of the virus.
You know, they have ads all the time on TV, but I haven't seen any lately. You know, it's kind of like you know who had the same problem. Remember there was a diet pill or something you took.
Tylenol?
No, it was called AIDS. AIDS.
AIDS.
Yes.
And they, for
Chocolate.
years, they would not give up on that name. They would not give up on it. I think finally one day they just said, "Oh crap, we can't fight this any longer." You know, what do you say on the ads? Hey, everybody, get AIDS. You know, I mean, it just doesn't work. So
I heard that like the Chevy Nova. In South America, Nova meant something like "does not go."
Doesn't go.
Yeah. And so they had to change the name of the Chevy Nova.
Well, in every country in the world besides the United States, the local Coca-Cola wasn't known as Diet Coke. It was known as Coke Light, because diet in a lot of other languages meant like death or something like that. It had a very negative connotation. And it was only in this country that we called it Diet Coke.
Yeah.
You know.
So. Diet's
Well, in Africa, they put the image of the product on the label of the product. So when Gerber baby food moved into the African market, it caused a lot of trouble for the people because they put a baby on the label.
And you can't put a baby on the label of something?
Maybe they wanted a black baby.
Whatever you put on the label is the food inside the jar.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. Well, who doesn't like a good baby now and then? You know?
Pureed baby.
Pureed baby. But anyway, the stocks are just going. I mean, this has been, I think they say this is maybe the worst week ever, something like that. I mean, it's coming close to the worst we've ever seen.
From the beginning of this year have been eroded.
Oh, they've been eroded 3 times, Phil. Yes, after the first day when they lost 1,000, they said all this year's gains have been lost. This is now all the gains times 3.
And he's blaming it on the debate.
Is he really?
That's what I thought he was saying the other day at the press conference. He's saying all that noise at the debate and everything went down, but then he didn't mention the fact that it was going down before the debate.
And he also, I wonder what he's saying today. Yesterday, he went on the air to try and calm everybody's fears so the stock would go up.
That's a reasonable thing.
And look
Yeah,
what,
and it went down more.
It went down more than it did the day before.
But it's going down worldwide. All the other stock markets are having...
Not like this.
Oh, he has a real big effect, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Well, the Trump virus, I mean...
it's hurting business worldwide. Absolutely. I mean, when China is down 40%, okay, that's a large part of the world market. I mean, that the world depends upon that economy to be stable.
Yeah.
and it's not.
That's more reason to invest in the U.S.
But why? Why should we invest in this crummy
We're
piece of
stable,
crap
more
country?
stable.
Huh?
We're stable, and
No, we're not,
we have
Phil.
so
No, we're not.
We have so few cases.
Phil, I'm so tired of you knowing everything.
All right, fuck it.
I'm tired of it, Phil.
Outside of the city limits.
Listen, I'll tell you right now, I'd rather live in Malaysia right now.
Yeah.
Bree seems to be enjoying it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there are things I can't even tell you, Alex.
What do you mean?
The banking.
I'm just saying. Other than the banking.
You really?
Are there any monkeys in those trees?
Yes. Yeah, there are.
Wow. Can you go out and catch one for us while you? Wow, this what a wonderful world we live in when I'm sitting here dealing with somebody on a bus in Malaysia, which is half a world away, right? The other side of the globe. And he's really giving us a nice little trip, and we're traveling with him. And you can put Phil. You can put that green screen all over yourself and make yourself disappear. If I get a green screen, I'm not going to be able to wear anything green anymore. But then again, I don't wear anything green anyway, so I don't need to.
You leprechaun, you.
Do you have money in stocks at all, Kevin?
I have one stock, and it looks like it's having a heart attack right now. It goes down, and then it goes up, and then it goes down. I mean, it had like a $10 swing in the last week.
Really? What stock is it?
It's Square.
It's what?
Square. It's that card reader,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think the guy from Twitter, well, he's probably not there anymore, but the guy from Twitter has that business.
Yeah, and then you take the thing and you put it in the input of an iPhone, right?
Yeah.
And then you can swipe cards through it.
Yeah.
What made you buy that specific stock?
It was an IPO, and I bought it when they first got in. My wife has a jewelry business, and she uses it for her business, and they gave us an opportunity to buy it like $12. And it's now up in the 80 range. And I sold some of it at 90, but it's sitting up and around 75, 80 now.
It's done that well, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
I guess it's good for small businesses and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's real good. It's got it's one of the lower interest rates and things like that you don't have big fees on it and stuff like that.
You pay
like PayPal does.
I've got one. Occasionally, people want to buy photography stuff like pictures, and if I decide that I'm going to charge them, I can use the Square thing. It's free. It just puts your iPhone or your iPad, and you can run the card through.
What did I buy? What did I buy from you? And you put me on your credit card thing.
That might have been it. Yeah,
What?
It might have been
That's probably it. Yeah.
That computer. The Mac Mini.
Oh, the Mac Mini, right? Yeah. I bought it from you.
Yeah, because I think PayPal charges you like 3% a transaction or something, don't they?
Yeah.
2.7, something like that.
Yeah.
I got a reader for PayPal too. You can do that with PayPal.
That Mac Mini, after it broke down and I had it fixed.
Well, after you plugged it into to a thing that blew it up.
Yeah, that blew it up. I now Marjorie uses it. It's good, still good, and it hangs in there very nicely.
It was the fastest thing you could get at the time.
Well, it wasn't the fastest thing you could get.
No, the fastest Mac Mini.
Yeah.
I had to buy it special. You couldn't just get it from Apple.
Right. Well, you could get it from Apple, but you couldn't go to the Apple store and get it.
Right. Yeah.
No, it was a good little item that they created. I love my my trash can. Oh, I love the trash can. It's been terrific, especially since it's like a brand new one since they fixed everything in it for $400.
That seems to happen to you a lot.
I think I buy it from bad sources.
Yeah,
That's what
really.
the problem is. No, what happened was I bought it on eBay, and 2 months in, the whole thing goes fritz on me. And so I go down to Apple, and they take it in. And they go, "Oh, it's the memory board. It'll cost you $400 to replace." Okay, or no, a graphics card, one of the graphics cards. So I replace it, and I take it home, and the thing isn't working. And I take it back to them, and they say, "Well, we have a policy here that if we send you home with it, and it still isn't working, we take care of it till it's fixed for that same price." And so they send it down to Houston, and they replace about 3/4 of the parts in the damn thing, and they send it back to me, and within 2 days, it's not working right. So I had to take it back. So they had to send it back, and they replaced about the other quarter that they hadn't replaced the first time. So it's like I have almost everything inside this trash can is brand new, and they send it back to me, and for $400, I had a brand new trash can. But one which I would have to pay something like close to $8,000 for.
Do you know what the new one would cost you with the same power? You looked at that? Grinder?
To begin with, they start at, at
6,000 or 8,000.
6,000, something like that. Yeah. But what's very funny, they just came out with the wheels for the new Mac Pro. Yeah. They have wheels for them because the thing is prohibitively heavy. So if you want to pick it up and move it across the room or to another office or something like that, if you have wheels on it, you just wheel it over. Well, Apple is selling the wheels for $400.
Do you know what to sell the stand for the monitor for?
Well, let me finish the story, Phil, please.
Well, I thought you did.
No, I wasn't through. So it was at $400 for these stupid wheels, okay? And guess what they didn't put on them? A lock.
Yeah.
So you can't lock the wheels. So if if let's say it's on a slant or something, it's going to roll. It doesn't have. So somebody put an ad out, put up a tweet that made it look like it was coming from Apple, coming from what's his name, the guy's the head of Apple, and it said announcing the new Apple lock, and it's like a chuck.
Yeah, wheel chuck.
And it says $9.99 a wheel.
Well, did you look at their monitor and the stand for the monitor? It doesn't come with a stand. The stand is
it has a stand, but it doesn't have a stand that adjusts. If you want the one that adjusts, that's $1,000.
Yeah.
What for? I'm sure there are parties coming out with third-party attachments for it that will do the same thing, and they'll sell it to you for $50.
I was thinking about getting a camera that's a German camera. It's called a Leica, and it's $2,000 more than the Panasonic version. They call that $2,000 the Leica tax. Now, this new thing might be the Apple tax. They're charging these outrageous.
Well, Leica's been around for years.
Yeah, but there's a new camera out that mirrorless full frame called the SL2, and I've been intrigued with it, but not enough to spend $10,000 for one body and one lens. So $12,000 actually.
Really?
Not going to do it.
No, I don't think there's any reason to. Is there?
No.
Yeah.
Well, there is. I want it, but I'm not buying it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you got to be a doctor to buy Leica. Those are the only guys that buy it.
Really?
Neurosurgeons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You see.
Oh,
they got money.
Mm-hmm. Demonetization money.
Yes.
You know. So anyway, let me see here.
They definitely have been in business forever.
Who, Leica?
Yeah.
Oh, Leica's been in business forever. Yeah, we're losing audience like crazy. I don't blame you, folks. This show is really boring tonight.
You're 28. I mean, you had 27 before.
Yeah. By the way, it said that my live video is not being monetized. I just rebooted here, and it went to a commercial.
Just because they play a commercial doesn't mean that you get the money, right?
Huh?
If they play a commercial and they say it's not being monetized,
No. It says they may still run commercials by advertisers who don't mind being on a show which the monetization has been questioned. It's just that not monetizing it means that advertisers who object to questionable programming will not be placed at the beginning of your program. That doesn't mean they won't.
Therefore, gold will be always advertised on your program.
That's right. This was a VPN ad, and for ExpressVPN.
VPN, yeah.
Yeah. Please buy all your stuff from ExpressVPN, folks. Even though, what do I use? I don't like VPN.
Nord, like I do.
Nord, yeah. I don't like VPN.
I use CyberGhost.
See, now we're down to 23 people.
No.
I guess because we're not arguing. Last night we were arguing. We got up to like 39.
Yeah.
Or if you kiss Marge.
What?
You kiss girlfriend.
What do you mean I kiss girlfriend? What do you mean?
That usually brings the numbers up, right?
Yeah.
So you bring her on out.
Says bring back Kathleen. She's the best. I don't know where Kathleen has been. I think I've been working her hard at Costco.
She's on Facebook. See her posts.
And we never.
Everybody go over to her Facebook page and tell her how much you think she's great on this show and to call. Yeah.
She posted a picture of her mother, who was a nurse, and her mother looks like a movie star.
Well, was. Did.
Yeah.
Her mother died.
I know.
Yeah.
But it was an early picture of her mother. Maybe she was in her early 20s.
Oh, they were a very handsome couple. I met them when they were older. You know. Very nice people. Very nice people. Well, let's see here.
Very good on the show.
What?
I think she's very good on the show.
Yeah, that's why I miss having her on. You know. I'll write
Charlene, too.
I'll write her a note. What?
And Charlene.
Oh, don't encourage that, please.
No?
No.
Did I miss something?
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
She misses being. She wrote me after the incident, and
I must have missed something then.
Yeah, she's a little hurt. You know, I told her time heals all.
No.
No. Okay. Well,
you know, I got enough problems with you, Phil. I don't need her.
Yeah. I can fix that.
I guess you could. But anyway, so everybody, if you know how to find Kathleen online, just write her and say, please call the program. They need you. They desperately need you.
Yeah.
You know.
Alex is tired of hearing from Phil.
Well, no, I liked her voice added to this mix. It was very nice. But tonight's just really slow. Plus, there's nothing to talk about. I mean, what are you going to talk about? The same old stuff, you know? I mean, the coronavirus. Okay, that's good for 5 minutes, you know? And talk about Trump. God knows. I mean, that's a topic that's become so tiresome that why talk about him? You know, why?
I would agree with.
What were you going to say, Jeff?
I hope he has a big heart attack.
You're hoping for that heart attack, huh?
I really am.
You see, we shouldn't really wish that on our president, but you know, it's a good possibility because he does not.
Your monetization.
There are some people that honestly believe he's actually had a stroke. because he is really mixing up. Sometimes he becomes totally, if you notice this in speeches, totally incoherent.
I thought you were talking about Biden. And also Pelosi, I think, had a stroke. You know how she's slurring her words?
But the president actually, there are times when he actually just garbles every word to where he's not even, it sounds like he's speaking in tongues.
He's from Queens. Have you listened to Tony? You know, listen to
I think it has a lot to do with the dental work.
What? Who, Biden?
No, and Trump.
And Trump?
Yeah, maybe they got the same dentist.
Could be. Yeah.
You know, there was one thing, Alex. We haven't heard from Rob, but there was a pretty big news item out of the Philippines recently because they are going to cancel the treaty with the U.S. And I was wondering if Rob had been following that story at all. Nobody really mentions it.
What treaty with the U.S.?
Well, we have a treaty with them.
Base there, and I thought they threw us out of the base.
Well, they're doing that now, but now it's like a complete dissolution of the treaty completely.
Why? Why? What's the reason?
Oh gosh, that's why I wanted to see if Rob knew, because I haven't been able to follow it exactly. I just know that it's happened, and it hasn't gotten a lot of news, but I think it's pretty big news.
Bruce Conover says something here that Trump is the only president where if he had a heart attack, the Dow would rise 1,000. Then the next day, everybody would have the realization that lowlife Pence is president, and it would go down 2,000. You know, so
I heard some.
If nobody told him, he wouldn't know.
I heard some media today, not media, some theory that what Trump was doing was setting up Pence to fail with this coronavirus, and then he was going to appoint his daughter, Ivanka, as vice president, and then she would run in 2020. So that's the...
Under normal conditions, I would say, oh, that's incredulous. But it's Trump we're talking about, so it isn't incredulous. Oh, yeah, he would like to see Don Jr. be the next person to run for president. He'd love to see a Trump dynasty in there.
Yeah.
You know.
So would I.
Yeah, because you don't know what's good for you.
Mm.
How's your stocks doing, Phil?
I'll know tomorrow.
Because I was talking to my friend Shecky, and he said, man, have I lost a lot of money this week.
My ex did all the stock market stuff, and that stuff all stayed with her after and I never invested in the stock market. I don't gamble. I don't do those kinds. I don't even think about those things. So I'm opening up a Charles Schwab account in the morning, and I'm going to buy the S&P index.
Yeah. Well, you got to buy certain stocks in the S&P index.
No, you buy the index.
Oh, you buy the index. I see.
That's a spider.
You're going to do that tomorrow?
Yeah.
You're nuts.
Well, I think that it's probably gone down just about as much. It's a pretty good correction. And
this isn't a correction, Phil. This isn't a correction.
I think that this is a buying opportunity. I really see it as an opportunity. So I'm going to
Suppose it goes down further, Phil.
Yeah, and I decided that in a few more months I get Social Security. So I was opening up this account, and I was just going to dump the Social Security in it every month until the day I actually retire. And then if I live long enough, I can spend it.
Yeah.
You can only... Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
Well,
I was going to say, you can only put so much in.
I'll be 66 in June. I won't get a penalty for taking the Social Security at 66.
No, you want to take it at 66.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I'll live to 76, so...
No, but you want to take it at 66. You don't want to wait till 72. I took it early because I needed it at 62, but I kept working enough that I made up for it.
Yeah.
So I didn't... You know.
You get higher interest if you wait.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if you wait till you're 72, you might not make it that far to begin with. But
Yeah.
secondly, it just doesn't balance out right. If you do it at 66, it's the sweet spot.
When is the first year you can absolutely take
I
it?
think it's 66 and like a third or something like that now.
It depends on your
okay.
birthday. I was born in 54, so I could take it at 66. If I was born in 55, I think that's when you have to wait a little bit longer.
I took it when I was 62. And as I say, but I because I was broke at the time and I needed the money. But then I went to work at Sirius, and because I kept working, I kept adding money to my Social Security. So now I'm getting paid about what I would have gotten paid if I'd cashed in at 65. Okay,
the maximum.
I'm in the fund here.
Huh?
You're in the what?
The front.
I'm in the version, the Malaysian version of Social Security.
Oh, okay.
It's called EPF.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, but the fact of the matter is that it's not good.
Well,
And
when you took it, did they penalize you if you made money? So, for instance, now for every $2 I make over $16,000 or $17,000, if I took it early, they would penalize me $1 of Social Security.
What? What? No.
Yeah, that's the way it's done now. If you take it early.
If you take it early.
Yeah, so I think if you make over $30,000 or $40,000 a year, you don't see a penny from the Social Security. So it didn't make any sense to take it at 62.
Well, if you take it at 62, you take it at 62. You just you then cashed in at that level. You don't get as much as you would have gotten if you had waited till you were 65.
If you're still working, they penalize you.
I just want to point out we're passing a very famous resort town in Malaysia called Malacca.
Malacca.
It's at Auschwitz. I'm watching Hunters.
Yeah. Basically,
it's a nice place.
What?
If you put the tag on YouTube, we could probably get 5,000 hits.
if I put a tag on what?
Bus from KL to Malacca.
From KL to Malacca? Yeah.
Yeah. And onward to Singapore.
Yeah. But what was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say now.
Social Security and that.
All I'm saying is that the Social
No.
Security is if you take it at 66, that's really the optimum time to do it. If you're going
Well, there's no. I don't think there's any maximum on what you can make if you're still working. So that's why I figured, hey.
Well, no. There's a maximum. There's a maximum amount. If you wait till you're 72, I think it's just there's a little bit more money you make, but the difference is not going to be worth it for the money you're giving up. Okay,
unless you live 115.
If you start taking it at 65 or 66 now, you're gonna wind up probably just making the right amount of money that way. Plus, you don't know if you're going to make it to 72. Right. And let's say you make 75, you're still going to only have about 3 years that you were making money off Social Security, where you could have been making it since the time you were 66.
And you're only getting 8% a year additional.
I have no idea what it is.
So let's say you took it at 67 and you got it at 66. I think they pay you another 8%, up to a maximum of like 130 something percent.
Well, all I know is I get something like $2,200 a month, And then, of course, they take out for Medicare and they take out for a few other things before we're through. I take in about $1,900, I think, something like that,
Welcome to Singapore.
Welcome to Singapore. What is that now? Is that something they
has
hand
to
you?
fill out a entry ticket. I guess it's a different country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, so you have to fill that out and let them know
How long are you going to be there? And just like Hawaii,
That's right.
Yeah. Is it much to fill out?
Yeah.
It is a lot to fill out?
Yeah, I brought a pen. There is a lot to fill out, but I did bring a pen.
Well,
So I'm good to go
since the
there.
show is so boring, why don't you just fill it out here on the air and tell us what you're doing?
And you
There's
can put on YouTube,
nothing like
filling
watching
out
a guy fill
the
out
immigration card.
forms on YouTube. That's what YouTube was made for, was somebody filling out passport.
Are you sure that bank is open today?
I'm sure that they are open on Saturdays and Sundays, yes.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, they are. It's Singapore. Singapore does that kind of thing. Yeah, and even if not, if there's some issue, I can just have my ticket changed, come back on Monday afternoon. But I'm hoping.
When are you planning on going back? Today?
No, Sunday at about 3:30 p.m. I'll leave Singapore and head back to
So
Kuala
you
Lumpur.
can call us tomorrow from Singapore, and we can.
Guy that works for Bank of America in Singapore, and why couldn't you open up an account with like a U.S. bank and draw on your funds anywhere?
Oh, there's a bunch of solar panels there. I don't know if you can see them. It's amazing. It's a solar farm. And then over here they got a bunch of
Wait a minute.
track.
Solar panels.
But yeah, but I do, Phil. I have an account in the States. Apparently, I still have an account in Dubai. They haven't closed it yet. And I have an account in Malaysia. So U.S., Malaysia, Singapore, Dubai.
Boy, I think we lost him. We may have actually lost him. I have damn Singapore cell service.
A lovely place.
But it's a
little
nice
crazy.
place. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, here we go.
Just a little
There we go. They're back again. Yeah. It's amazing how pretty consistent the signal has been for the last hour and a half.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I was
Better than
I was
I
just
get
looking
in
it
the
around.
car or anything.
Yeah. Obviously, it is an AT&T, you know.
Yeah.
Or Fios or whatever, you know. But Verizon. But I mean, what cell service do you have? What country do you have? I mean, what's the company?
I have the company is called Cellcom, and there's a lot of different providers here, but I'm going through a very mountainous or hilly area, so that could affect it. But Cellcom is kind of known as the countryside service.
Yeah.
Like it's for the people who live in villages. It's not like a city service.
Wow, it's just
I didn't know that.
It's like they have cell service everywhere now and there. What also is amazing to me is do you pay a lot of extra money because of this call?
No, I don't. I pay about $8 a month, and that covers pretty much everything I need to do.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're in like Singapore, will it cover you in Singapore?
No, there I will pay $2 a day, to keep things going.
Whoa, geez, we really get ripped off in this country, don't we, folks?
For everything.
I mean, really, we do.
Yeah.
We absolutely get ripped off. It's terrible.
They're even going to charge us for the coronavirus pretty soon.
Yeah. And the lime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lime
surcharge.
On that scuba trip, we didn't have any cell service where we were about 40, 50 miles offshore in the Bahamas. And one of the guys on the boat had a satellite phone. And I called home on the satellite phone. It was a very interesting thing. You go up on deck and you're able to connect. I don't know how much that call cost him.
Well, I think he just pays for the
$10.
No, he probably pays for month service by the month and probably can use it anytime, anywhere he wants to for that. Is how I think that thing goes, but it's very expensive.
Yeah.
So your guy must have had a lot of FU money.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. Because if I had a lot of FU money, what I would do before Tuesdays, buy as many hookers as is humanly possible. But then after Tuesday, I won't need them any longer. So.
Well, he had so much FU money, he let everybody use his phone. It was like, hey, yeah, just there it is. Help yourself. That's the code.
Wow. That's amazing. Well, we only got 3 minutes left here. I actually made it through the show. Yes, whoever wrote is right. It's the 100th time I've said I was going to end the show early, and I was going to quit and go home and never do the show again, and other things like that. And once again, I have lied. But that was only because Kevin called. And when Kevin calls,
Kevin.
I can't hang up from Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin.
That's like I screwed you over again.
Yeah, you screwed me over again. Yeah. Everything good with your health? How's your health doing there, Kevin?
Okay. Just trying to shrink that prostate.
Oh, trying to shrink the prostate.
I got to do that.
Shrink your prostate? Well, you know what you do is you just don't feed it.
Yeah. If I don't, they're going to zap it with a laser in a few months. So
zap it with a laser? What do you mean? What for?
That test last week, they said it was getting bigger, and that some medial thing in there is gonna. If I don't keep taking them pills and they don't shrink, they're gonna go in there with a pew pew and zap it.
They told me that 7 years ago. I never went back.
Never in any of the stuff with my prostate ever had them talk about using a laser to do something to it.
Isn't there something called a TERP? I don't know how they do it. I don't know if it's a laser.
That's just scraping
called
off
the medial lobe.
Yeah, the TERP is used for they scrape off a little bit of the prostate to shrink it, to make it smaller. Now that may be what they're going to do with the laser. Yeah,
I can show you pictures, but they'd probably lose your.
You lose what few people we have left here.
You might increase the amount of people.
Yeah. Well, I just want to get through this thing I'm going through and get it over and done with, And then he said, chances are there's only a 92, about an 8% chance that it might come back. So,
well,
I figure the odds are on my side.
Now we've got two diseases that people get on this show. We get prostate cancer, and pretty soon we'll get the coronavirus from Bree.
Yeah. Are you coughing yet, Bree?
A little bit.
Eyes tearing?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Well, what's going to be great about your weekend in Singapore, any restaurant you want to go into, seating just like that.
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
If I were you, I would stay. I would stay in your hotel room and order in. Yeah.
No, I can't do that.
And by the way, folks, don't buy those little flimsy masks that people are putting on their face. That won't do a damn thing for you. That will just make you look really cool and make you look like you belong on a doctor show. Something like that.
Unless you already have a cough.
Yeah. Well, there's our theme song, folks. It's playing. Thanks to Bree, who has taken us. What? How many miles do you figure we've gone on the show? Maybe 90 miles?
Yeah. Easily.
90 miles through Malaysia as he wings his way to Singapore. Doesn't wing his way, he wheels his way to Singapore. And thank you, Phil, so much. You were very nice tonight. We didn't have to get into any Trump stuff, but I veered you away from it. So, Jeff, good seeing you again. And, of course, Kevin, always nice to see you as well. Everybody, give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give you a wave goodbye back, okay? There we go. There they go. That's our citizen panel for tonight. Let me hang up on them here so that I can make the thing ready for. Oh, that's why nobody was calling. I was invisible. Yeah, looks like I was invisible. Who cares? Anyway, we had a little bit of fun. That was okay. It worked out well. We didn't talk about much, and we saw a lot of scenery and what have you. Anyway, I'm Alex Bennett. That's it. Jack Bishop is next. He's here with The Intersection. Next, over most of the same Gabnet. In the meantime, I'll see you again tomorrow night. Same time, same station in life. And in the meantime, as always, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye.